Makoto had barely regained consciousness while Mukuro was fighting the horde of Monokumas at the main entrance. That fan is going to be obnoxious, isn't it?
That's my computer.
Oh, that's your computer? Okay, never mind then. Questions raced through Mukuro's mind, but she wasn't able to answer them. There's no way she could have answered them so easily. After all, she was still alive.
Yeah.
The sound of the motorcycle grew closer and closer, as if it was threatening to break Mukuro's
Wait a
spirit.
minute!
Suddenly, Monokuma stopped moving.
Did we? What? Wait a minute. I thought we got past this part.
Oh, we did. Yeah, they, Wait, huh? Why is the scene...
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. That comes to here.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Okay, there we go.
Alright, let's save this as a bookmark.
Okay.
Okay. We're good now. Makoto had barely regained consciousness while Mukuro was fighting a horde of Monokumas at the main entrance. When he woke up, he did something extremely simple. He talked about his memories. Most of the students were skeptical even after listening to Mukuro's recorded confession on Chihiro's laptop. Obviously, they were still not entirely convinced at first. But when Makoto woke up, but after Sakura had asked him a certain question, the ambience completely changed. Then beyond the walls of this school, the world is completely destroyed? You're saying there's no one else alive? Makoto slowly sat up to answer Sakura's meek question.
Don't worry. I'm sure the Kenichiro is still safe. I'm sure he's still keeping his promise to you.
I'm pretty sure that's Sakura's father.
Probably.
I think that
Did I say the Kenichiro?
The one Kenichiro. I think that is Kenichiro, that is Sakura's father. Or
yeah, probably.
That, because I remember her free time events. Sakura gasped. Kenichiro was the only man... Yeah, that's her father. Was the only man she couldn't defeat. A man who had promised her a rematch and made her one other promise as well. How? How do you know that name? How do you know about that promise?
Because you told me.
No, it's you.
That's a narration line.
No, here. It's because you told me. No, Makoto slowly corrected himself.
You told all of us.
Sakura was silent after hearing those words. But then she faced the other students and spoke in a loud, clear voice. I'm going to trust Makoto. Sakura? Although Aoi was shocked, Sakura continued to speak with determination. What Makoto just said is something I've kept locked away inside my memories. In fact, I was planning to keep it a secret until the day I died. But if I shared that secret, that means there was once a strong bond between Makoto, myself, and with my fellow students as well. Makoto continued to talk in a gentle tone. Though it couldn't have been good for his health, he continued to slowly talk about the memories that the other students no longer had. Why do you know about the story I'm planning to write? Are you a specialist end user who can predict the future? Oh.
You already finished that story, Hifumi.
Yeah, that's Hifumi, not Toko. Whatever.
You had me help you with inking.
What? Wait a sec. How do you know that I extorted money from that girl related to the Kusaryu clan? Wait, what? Oh.
That's new.
Wait, no, that's a different person. Oh, that's fucking Hero, isn't it?
You even tried to sell my organs to them.
It's fucking Hero, isn't it? It must be Hero. That has to be. That's the only person I can understand. What?
You need to stop skipping.
I'm not skipping dialogue. I went back. What? What is this?
Wait a minute.
What?
No. Stop it. Stop it. Just stay on this page. Read his...
No, I don't know what I missed text. And I wanted to go back. Hang on a minute. Hang on a fucking minute.
No, it's just loaded the next few
here we
pages.
Go. Yeah, no, it loaded the next set. What the fuck is wrong with this?
It's because you're using a damn controller.
It's not.
Anyway, continue. This is the next page.
Yeah. Because you even show someone. Yeah, okay. These wounds were excruciating, but even so, Makoto kept smiling and talking about their lives together, as if it was his duty to do so now that he had regained his memories. As the other students listened to him, they slowly began to realize something. The vivid accounts he was providing couldn't be explained as just passing knowledge. Clearly some kind of bond between them all had been erased. Only Byakuya remained cynical.
There's no way I could have grown closer to any of you. It's likely that you're all secretly working together.
Though Byakuya was still hostile towards Makoto's recollections of their memories. For the time being, he determined that Makoto wasn't actually a terrorist.
Thank God.
Mukuro had bought enough time for Makoto to wake up and share his memories with the others. Even if she hadn't intended to do that, it was still a small sliver of hope that she grasped tightly in her hand.
Tightly.
Firmly. Grasp it. SpongeBob reference!
The conclusion!
As she looked at the boy who had smiled at her, Mukuro didn't know what to say. She couldn't think of anything to say at all. The battle was over, and Mukuro was now back to being a disappointing girl. She turned away from everyone's faces and apologetically climbed off the back of the motorcycle. But Makoto saw her and slowly opened his mouth to say,
Thank you, Mukuro. You saved my life.
Makoto gave her words of sincere gratitude between his weak breaths. Mukuro couldn't bring herself to look at him as she mumbled to herself. Why?
Huh?
If Kyoko told you, then you already know what I did, right? After regaining his memories and learning the truth, Mukuro should have been nothing but a hated traitor to him. Why would he smile at someone like her? Mukuro kept her head down. Makoto smiled as if he was unsure how to respond and said,
Well, I guess you're right. But you also saved my life many times during these past 2 years, and...
Makoto took a deep breath, quiet breath, and smiled at Mukuro again.
You're my friend. We spent all that time with each other. It would be great if you could look for a different path, not despair. And if there's any way I can help you, I will.
Do you really think I can walk another path at this point?
I don't know what you can do, or even what I can do. But I think it's more important to look for that path instead of actually finding it.
Was this intentional or a coincidence? Just before he regained his memories, Makoto had said something similar to Mukuro when she spoke to him in the nurse's office as Junko. Regardless of whether he lost his memories or regained them, those words revealed Makoto's true character. As Mukuro confirmed that to herself, Makoto blurted out something that was almost too trusting.
And it's not just you. Even Junko can...
But he was immediately interrupted. Monokuma's face appeared on every monitor in the academy, and his laughter seemed to be coming out of every speaker. I could have pretending to be that ultimate hacker, but it's boring to impersonate someone who doesn't even exist. If this keeps up, I'll lose my identity and turn to Kanakuma. Kyoko looked up at a surveillance camera and addressed Monokuma directly.
You seem to give up pretty easily.
There isn't anyone that gives up as easily as I do. Regardless, I'm pretty sure Chihiro has figured out my secret of my control program by now. So,
just as I thought, you included that program on purpose.
Kyoko realized something when Mukuro told her about Junko. There were two reasons such a hateful person would intentionally leave an obvious clue inside the Monokuma units. Either Junko wanted the students to learn the truth about the outside world and themselves on their own and turn their hopes into despair, or she was looking forward to that clue resulting in her own plan being undone, which would allow her to feel despair towards herself. She was an angel of everlasting darkness, delighting in her own despair and using it to spread despair and destruction to those around her. Why would someone like that continue to play the role of Monokuma? Actually, I set that program for Chihiro to discover if she happens to be one of the final 5 survivors. I feel so sad and empty that my preparation was a waste, but I'm going to think about it positively. The word retreat doesn't exist in Monokuma's dictionary. Oh, that shit. That little fucking shit. If Chihiro would have survived at the end, and that just makes me think about all the people. If certain people survived and others didn't, what kind of information would we have gotten different than the actual ending? Fuck, man. So all the big what if. Hey, it's the title. Nervousness began to grip the students as Monokuma continued talking in his relaxing and uplifting voice. Now then, it looks like...
Yawn.
I hate you so much. Everyone's here! Including Toko, who's still tied up in her room. So let's start the heart-throbbing, exciting special graduation exam! Huh? The students broke out in noisy confusion.
I was making noisy confusion.
But Monokuma ignored them and kept talking. Don't think so hard about it. Relax, relax! Change Alax to Oopert.
Rupert?
Change Alax to Oopert for all I care. I'll still be the most adorable bear here.
God damn, it's a Family Guy reference.
Rupert?
That's Stewie's teddy bear. Damn!
Byakuya, visibly annoyed with Monokuma's nonsensical rambling, shouted,
I already know it's you, Junko. Stop this stupid. That is not the voice.
I'm Byakuya now.
I'm Byakuya now.
What the fuck voice you gave him before?
I already know it's you, Junko. Stop this stupid game and show yourself.
Oh my, don't you know? If you want to lure the mastermind out of her heavenly hidey hole, you need to bring a worthy sacrifice. You're not worthy enough at all. Do you really think the mastermind would show herself for your pathetic hope and despair? He roared maniacally and then began to explain the special graduation exam. If you pass the exam, everyone will graduate, but if you fail, you'll be held back for a whole year. I'll reset your memories, give you a fresh new lease on life, and you'll reintroduce yourself at the start of the school year again. They say people's lives don't come with the reset buttons, but I'm not a people. Whether it's soft resets or hard resets, I can do as I please. Let's not talk about how hard your reset is. Yasuhiro seemed confused, but the other students knew what Monokuma meant by reset.
Yasuhiro doesn't know what it means.
He's a fucking idiot.
He's a fucking idiot.
He was going to force them to relive their school lives once again. And Yasuhiro struggled to understand. As he struggled to understand, Taka pointed at a nearby monitor and shouted, "Stop this already! No matter what you do to us, we'll never commit murder. These past few days should have already made that clear to you." What was that? Jumped Monokuma. Are you serious? Of course! No one here would ever take another human being's life for any reason! As Taka shouted, one of the students, a pale-faced girl standing apart from the others, looked away. It was Sayaka. As she trembled, a voice propped up from behind her.
I don't know who.
I think it's Makoto.
Nope.
What do you think, Sayaka? She couldn't even turn around from sheer terror. But Sayaka knew. She knew Monokuma was standing right behind her. We didn't, though. Do you really think none of you will become a killer? Monokuma leaned towards Sayaka and asked her a question only she could hear. By the way, Sayaka, why don't you go to Makoto's room when nothing strange has happened yet?
Why did you?
Fuck you.
Did you two have an inappropriate relationship? What would your fans think if they found out you made a move on a boy by sneaking into his room? Or were you there for some other reason?
She could barely make a sound, much less scream.
Yeah, we know she can't scream from earlier.
As her trembling worsened. Monokuma had nothing to gain by cornering Sayaka and toying with her emotions like this. He simply wanted to see the young singer fall into despair over her true character. And for that reason, Monokuma did not relent. Hey, what were you trying to do to your close friend you've known for the past 2 years? Her determination from the last night. You gotta move faster, bro. Her determination from last night blended with the memories Makoto had recounted, and ate away at Sayaka's mind like a disease. As her mind began to rip itself apart, she fell to her knees. A clear ball flying just under 105 miles per hour struck Monokuma in the mouth with enough force to sink into his face.
Nice, Leon.
And the speaker in Monokuma's mouth was immediately destroyed as his body rolled into a wall and stopped moving. Sayaka came to her senses and looked where the ball came flying from. She saw Leon breathing heavily as he stared intensely at Monokuma. I thought he hated baseball, though. Oh, I guess he could still use his ultimate.
He's still the ultimate baseball player.
Yasuhiro grabbed him and yelled, "Ah, dude, why'd you do that, Leon? That crystal ball's really valuable!"
It wasn't a baseball.
Leon had stole... Yeah, I knew. It was a clear ball.
I didn't hear clear. I just heard ball.
Leon had stolen Yasuhiro's crystal ball and thrown it at Monokuma. That Monokuma... That's you.
That Monokuma bastard was trying to take Sayaka hostage. What was I supposed to do? Yeah!
Dude, that crystal ball cost me $2 trillion! $2 trillion!
It doesn't matter which reality we're in. That crystal ball gets fucked both times. By Leon!
By Leon.
It.
They don't even print that much money anymore.
Oh, bullshit. Besides, if the world's all screwed up, what the hell are you gonna need money for anyway? But if it's safe out there, I'll just join the major leagues or whatever and pay you back. Well, I could pay you back doing something else besides baseball.
As those two argued, Sayaka fell to her knees.
Hey! Sayaka!
Shouted Leon, running towards her.
Sayaka, you okay?
She looked at him and stared blankly.
Leon?
She had made up her mind and she raised her head and she said,
There's something I need to confess to you later.
Oh, cause... Yeah.
Good.
What? Seriously?
Sayaka was staring at Leon so intensely that he briefly forgot about the current situation.
Not just to you, but to Makoto and the others too.
Sayaka had made up her mind to confess the sin that was weighing heavily on her heart, but Leon seemed to not hear the latter half of her remark. He ran back to the others, slapped Hifumi and Yasuhiro on their backs, and shouted,
Alright everyone, let's ace this exam or whatever and get out of here already. There's no way I'm gonna let my happy memories of this place get taken away.
The Monokumas inside the monitor responded, Fine, now that things are finally coming to boil, let's start the graduation exam! Sakura, who had been outside the dormitory, suddenly appeared with some information.
The Monokumas in the hallway are acting peculiar.
The students all moved to the main building to see what Sakura was talking about. There they saw 50 Monokumas standing in 2 rows along the wall of the hallway and one standing at the very end of the hall. There was something strange on top of this Monokuma's head, and a large version of the escape button that Makoto had obtained from the Mono machine. As each student took this sight, an announcement rang throughout the school.
The me at the end of the hall has a button on top of his head that'll open the main entrance. You'll have 15 seconds to get to that button. If you do, I'll let you have it in place of a diploma.
The students seemed surprised by the straightforward explanation. Only Celeste remained calm, and she asked Monokuma with a bored look on her face.
Of course, it is not as simple as running up and taking it, is it? Oh, how mean!
Do I? What? You moved me, so I moved back.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was over here, I'm like, I can't can't talk.
I'm sorry.
Do I look like the kind of headmaster that would interfere with the student's graduation? Forget the gunfire salutes. I'm gonna send my graduates off with some fireworks. 100 fireworks to be exact, enough for 20 seconds of hardcore partying. The more perceptive students immediately realized what he was talking about. The bombs installed each Monokuma. They would explode one after the other, filling the hall with fire as soon as time started. After 15 seconds, the me standing at the back of the hall is going to sacrifice himself to give you one final firework. By the way, this is probably not important, but that button isn't very durable. This graduation exam was Monokuma's way of saying he had no intention of letting anyone leave. It was clear from the explosions students saw during the entrance exam that the halls of Hope Seek Academy would be bathed in fire. Even if someone was lucky enough to survive the explosions, the burns in their body alone would be enough to send them into a fatal shock. Their lungs might be completely incarcerated by the scorched air.
That says incinerated, not incarcerated. They're gonna get arrested by the smoke.
Shut up. You fucking read it.
Even if they sacrificed one student to run through, the odds were low that they would even succeed. But there was no reason for every student to run in all at once either, and a shadow of despair fell upon their faces. I don't know who that's talking. That's somebody. It's probably Monokuma.
Probably like
Nice, very nice. I almost want to take a picture.
Wait a minute. No, couldn't it be...
Who?
Byakuya?
No?
As Monokuma left from behind the monitor, Sakura stepped forward.
I'll do it. I have only seen the explosion once, but I believe I'm capable of withstanding its power.
Summon all your Tai Chi.
No!
Shouted Hina.
You can't! Even you can handle 100 of those explosions!
Sakura shook her head.
I'm the only one who isn't.
Makoto's got this. He survived a spear to the fucking face.
It was to the side.
Still,
Not the face.
he can totally run through.
Suddenly, Mondo remembered the motorcycle he parked inside the dormitory and said, "Hold up! That motorcycle's gotta be fast enough to get through those explosions. I'll do it."
Don't be hasty,
urged Sakura.
Even if the motorcycle is unharmed by the explosions, that doesn't mean its rider will be.
As Sakura and the others continued the debate, one person stepped forward toward the hallway lined with Monokumas.
It's
Mukuro!
I'll do it.
Mukuro!
That's me, but sure.
Makoto. Shit!
I said Mukuro.
Mukuro with her back facing
Makoto.
That says Makuro.
It does.
That's why I thought I said Makoto. It says Makuro.
It's Mukuro with her back facing Mukoto.
Yeah. Mukuro with her back facing Makoto turned her head to the
I failed to proofread this slide.
side slightly and give him a small nod.
I can do it.
She knew it would have to come to this. She knew why Monokuma would pose such an impossible exam. Junko's already looking forward to the next despair game. She's going to erase everyone's memories, including mine. She just wants to torment us and fill us with despair before that happens. But Mukuro knew her sister's personality all too well, and that's why she was confident. She knew that the escape button was real. Whatever Junko brought despair to others, she always made sure there was a possibility that despair would befall her instead. If the students won this gamble and made it through this horrible situation, they would finally escape to the outside world. That outcome would obviously fill Junko with immense despair. In the same way she left a clue in Monokuma's control program, Junko could not be satisfied unless she took pains to assure her own destruction. It was this quality that made Junko the ultimate despair. That's why Mukuro was determined to do it.
Oh yeah, 'cause she wants to give her despair.
She knew she was the only person who stood a chance at making that outcome possible, even if she had to risk her life.
Oh, she's just traversing a minefield. That's child's play for the ultimate soldier.
But Right now, Mukuro wanted to live more than anything.
Fuck that.
She wanted to hold on to this world, a world she had no interest in previously. She didn't know if this hesitation she felt was disappointing or not. But she wanted to live and continue searching for a new path. A path where she could abandon her submission to despair, where she could accept the sins of the past and continue to live. Mukuro, who was known as a war machine, found her heart beset by overwhelming fear and anxiety. Until now, it had never occurred to her that her determination was necessary to live.
Wow.
As if she was brushing that fear aside, she quietly said, thank you, Makoto. Unfortunately, the words she said to the boy who showed her new possibilities never reached his ears. Sakura, however, heard her and frowned as she said, if you're planning to sacrifice yourself as an act of penance, I'll stop you with all my power. Though her words were firm, there was an unmistakable affection hiding in them. Both girls had dedicated their lives to battle, and yet Mukuro felt a twinge of jealousy towards Sakura for possessing something she lacked. Mukuro leaned towards Sakura and whispered into her ear. That's all she whispered.
That's all she whispered.
What? What? Are you serious? As Sakura's frown intensified, Monokuma's voice blared throughout the halls. Alright, I'm gonna start the exam now. Ready, set, go! There was no time for questions or objections. The frontmost Monokuma exploded, sending a roaring wave of heat throughout the hall. Mukuro didn't look away. She began moving, powered by resolute determination.
Oh shit. No!
As soon as the graduation exam started, the mastermind focused her control entirely on the Monokuma holding the escape button and completely synchronized her field of vision with it. She knew what was going to happen next. She could predict what her sister Mukuro would do in this exact situation, where she would choose to focus her superhuman skill with weaponry. And so, through Monokuma's eyes, she watched the scene unfold exactly as she had predicted. A pointed metal bar burst through the explosion, heading straight for the weak point of the Monokuma holding the escape button. Specifically, it was aiming for the point where the bomb's detonation system and Monokuma's power source overlapped. It flew straight and true as if it had been fired by a master archer.
Just gonna move it.
In order to bring despair to Monokuma, and by extension Junko as well, the super soldier known as Mukuro Ikusaba threw the pipe like a spear so it could attack the same weak point she had pierced at the nurse's office. As the explosions filled the hallway until only fire remained visible, the spear's speed and precision as it soared through its target defied all human logic. But the mastermind knew. She knew Mukuro had used her power to fill the world with despair. Power was all that disappointing girl had. But that power was useless against Monokuma. The mastermind had predicted that Mukuro would put all of her effort into that throw, and Monokuma caught the metal bar perfectly between his hands. The force of the throw knocked Monokuma back several yards, but the point ended of the bar never pierced through his chest. Well, that was disappointing. The mastermind turned to look at a different monitor. She wanted to see the look on Mukuro's face when she realized she failed to strike Monokuma. The despair of seeing the final Monokuma explode right before her eyes, completely obliterating the escape button. She wanted to sear this memory of her disappointing sister's final moments as her newfound hope sank into the dark pits of despair. On instinct, she turned her attention to the surveillance camera that hadn't been destroyed, but instead of seeing Mukuro and the others, she saw Sakura, who looked as though she had finished launching an attack. She only thought it was strange for a second. Then the hopelessly powerful mastermind completely understood the situation and shifted her point of view to Monokuma. But because of that single second, Junko would feel just a pang of despair.
It was a deception.
3 seconds left. Amid the smoke and flames, the heat encircling the hallway, it burst through with the speed of a cannon shell. It glared at Monokuma with hot, boiling eyes that betrayed the icy expression on its face, and then, sharply, swiftly, strongly, it transformed into a living weapon that cut through everything, revealing its true form in that hall of despair. 2 seconds left. Monokuma, who was still holding the metal bar in his hands, tried to move, but at that exact moment, the living weapon carved a path through the flames and appeared before him. Its body, which had never been wounded on any battlefield, was sustaining all manner of burns and injuries. But even so, it didn't falter. The fire in its eyes never flickered once. 1 second left. The living weapon, Mukuro, slammed her knee into the back of the metal bar Monokuma was holding. The sharp tip of that metal bar pierced through Monokuma like a rail spike, shredding the detonator and his power source to pieces. Time's up. The 100 explosions ceased and smoke blanketed the hallway. Mukuro had dived into Monokuma and the pristine escape button now rested in her hand. She and the other students of Hope's Peak Academy had passed the graduation exam. It was only a small amount of despair. Monokuma had tasted it in only 3 seconds.
Done. Done. Done!
But we're not done.
Fuck you.
Junko. Mukuro looked down at Monokuma. He could no longer move or self-destruct. When she spoke to him, a static-filled voice emanated from his mouth. It seemed his communication function still worked.
I never expected you to do that.
He still sounded like Monokuma. It seems his voice modulator was unharmed as well.
I must have overestimated you. I never thought you'd need anybody's help on the battlefield. When I gave the signal, please launch me forward with a roundhouse kick.
Mukuro whispered these words to Sakura just before the explosion started. Oh, when I give the signal, please launch me forward with a roundhouse kick. Oh.
Yeah, she threw the spear and then...
After Mukuro threw the metal bar, she jumped into the air at that exact moment Sakura unleashed a roundhouse kick. Right when Sakura's foot made contact with her own, Mukuro used the force generated by the kick to propel herself and Monokuma. Using the ultimate martial artist's superhuman attack like a springboard, she shot herself through the air like an artillery shell. She was basically like a bullet.
No, a shell is like 60 times bigger than the biggest bullet.
I mean, like she was moving really fast.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Enduring intense heat, shrapnel, and blood-draining G-force, she stayed conscious as he charged through the hallway engulfed with explosions and despair. Mukuro trusted Junko. She trusted Junko to predict that she'd throw the metal bar and catch it accordingly. Then she tried to look at her face as the despair sets in. Then Junko and Oshima the Junko and Oshima she knew would definitely do that. Although Mukuro hadn't predicted her sister would try to kill her with the spears of Gungnir, she had a better understanding of her actions now. As Mukuro stared at Monokuma's in his face, all he could do was laugh scornfully. It's like you're whatever. See, it's like you're fucking...
She killed her in the game because she knew her better than anybody, so she was the only who could undo everything.
True, but here's the other thing. Now that she's alive, and knows Junko at the truest, worst despair, now she knows how to counteract Junko because she knows her the best. Sisterly interaction.
No shit, they've only said it like 60 times.
But that's so fucking interesting is what I mean. Because now we have a rival to go up against Junko for realsies, even though she kind of undid herself in despair before, and that was mostly Makoto's doing in the main game. In this version, it's like you gotta pit two...
It's a combo of the two of them this time.
You gotta pit two strengths against each other.
I understand how it works, Chris.
It's cool, you bitch!
Yeah.
It's cool. Anyway.
I still have my prediction about what this is.
You'd better put your life in someone else's hands for a deadly... you put your life in someone else's hands for a deadly battle? I don't know how I feel about that. You'll always be a half-assed disappointment. I guess this time I'll say I lost because I didn't see this much disappointment coming. The end.
Mukuro shook her head at Monokuma.
No, you're wrong, Junko.
Huh?
If you want to talk about winning or losing, I think we lost before we even started.
Mukuro's eyes shifted from side to side, as if she was unsure of something, and she fidgeted in place as she continued to talk.
No matter how much despair they felt, you didn't think they'd kill each other the way they were before. That's why you erased their memories. They aren't like the others you forced in the past. You knew these students would never do it. That's what you believed in, isn't it?
What are you talking about?
So, it's okay, Junko. I'll bring back everyone's memories someday, and I'll show you everyone's happiness and their bonds. I'll show all that to you, and fill you with even more despair.
Mukuro nodded after she said this, as if to cheer her sister up. After several seconds of silence, Monokuma responded.
You finally beat me this one time, and that lame speech is the best you can do? You're such a disappointment! You'll never fill me with despair! It's just constant disappointment.
After pouting like a sore loser, Monokuma continued to speak in his usual tone.
But you guys will be back. And when that time comes, I'll invite you guys to a wonderful place. I found out about this fun island when I was running things here.
Monokuma's laughter filled the room before the static finally cut out and his remains fell
Island,
silent.
you say?
He wouldn't be talking again anytime soon. The mastermind was already preparing a new despair to bring to the world and to the students of Hope's Peak Academy, Junko included.
Wait.
In the end...
Wait. Junko included?
She wants to give herself despair.
Yeah.
In the end, the mastermind stayed in her Monokuma persona until the very end, and Junko Enoshima never showed her face again. It was as if she resented the despair Mukuro had given her. That thought almost filled Mukuro with despair, but when she heard her classmates calling for her, she sealed that despair into the depths of her heart. From now on, she would seal away all her despair. And one day, when she can give Junko the perfect despair, she'll unleash all the despair she stored and plunge with her sister into a dark abyss.
I won't leave my little sister alone.
In the end, that was the first hope the disappointing older sister had felt since she was a child.
Oh, it's not over. I thought that was the ending.
Wait, why? Did she dress up as Junko again?
No.
Then why is Junko there?
Oh, there's an actual picture.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, I guess she did.
Okay, I guess she did.
Who is saying that?
I would assume Kyoko?
Oh no, it's
Makoto.
Mukuro, are you really gonna go out wearing that wig?
After receiving a blood transfusion of the correct blood type that we will never know. Actually, we do know it's in game.
Yeah.
But Monokuma
Pretty
did
sure
lie.
it's O.
Is it O? Well then, fuck. Then that would have worked anyway.
Any of them would have worked.
Makoto was beginning to show signs of recovering.
No shit.
Mukuro, holding her wig to disguise herself as Junko Enoshima, nodded.
If I live as Junko, I might be able to understand her better.
Switches. Oh.
Despite that, Mukuro's voice still sounded like her own, as if she hadn't fully decided.
And I've made up my mind. While I'm out there, I've decided I'll accept everyone's hatred towards me and towards Junko. I can't die until I've destroyed all the despair that Junko has spread. The damage that the ultimate despair inflicted upon the world could not be measured in terms of money, culture, or even human life. Television broadcasts had already begun informing the people of that Junko Enoshima and Mukuro Ikusaba were the heart of the ultimate despair. Among the survivors in the world, there are still people who hadn't been tainted by despair yet. Regardless of the fact that she'd released Makoto and the others, to these survivors she was nothing more than the reason the world ended. And to the terrorists wearing Monokuma masks who continued to ravage the world, Mukuro was nothing but a traitor. She was now in the hopeless situation of being enemies with most of humanity.
Except like the 10 other people in that room.
But Mukuro wasn't making
15 other people.
But Mukuro wasn't making a big deal out of it.
I'm going to try not to kill anyone who comes after me for revenge. Wouldn't it be safer to just turn yourself in?
Wondered Yasuhiro.
Well, you might just get executed instead.
That's Yasuhiro still.
Well, you might just get executed instead, but you could live to be an old lady if your trial keeps getting pushed back. Mukuro slowly shook her head at Yasuhiro.
Laws, justice, these things no longer exist.
Is it really that bad out there? Maybe we should just stay in here.
Byakuya glared at Yasuhiro with contempt.
Ignorant idiots just should shut up.
It's you.
Your fate won't change whether you stay in here or not.
Though he was shocked to learn that Togami Corporation had been destroyed, Byakuya continues to remain firm and proud even towards Mukuro.
You are a rare asset.
Continued Byakuya.
So I will let you live for now.
Depending on your
actions, I may consider forgiving your crimes after I've built a new world.
Only a Togambi would boast that they're capable of forgiving the crime of ending the world. You don't need to do that. I don't plan on just surviving. After turning away from Byakuya, Mukuro looked at the other students. Everyone was reacting in their own way. Kyoko had a look of quiet preparation, Toko having just changed back from Genocide Jack only just now?
Apparently.
Shit, they must have let her run wild.
Well, she was locked in a room, remember?
Right, still, was panicked and confused. Mukuro looked back on the 2 years she'd spent with them and turned to Makoto, who shared the same memories as her, and gave him the escape button. Makoto, you press it. Huh?
Me?
I think it's better if you press it instead of me. As she watched Makoto accept the button with some hesitation, Mukuro thought about what Monokuma had said. You guys will be back. Mukuro knew that Monokuma was telling the truth. After all, the file the students needed to fully restore their lost memories remained hidden in the academy. The research notes of Yasuke Matsuda, the ultimate neurologist. His research is the key to restoring everyone's memories. Even if the students no longer had the memories, they may be able to repair the bonds they had built amongst themselves for the past 2 years. But as long as their memories remained unrestored, the mastermind could still repeat the deadly plan. Although the island mentioned earlier sounded strange, the students could not turn their backs on the despair facing them. Then, let's go. Makoto remembered everything that was happening in the outside world. The boy who had chosen to remain inside the academy 2 years ago was now choosing to leave. How much did he struggle to come to that decision? But he was determined to face the despair awaiting him outside and hid his internal conflict from the others. By protecting Makoto's hope, Mukuro would bring despair to her beloved sister. But she no longer knew if the end result of her goal would lead to hope or despair.
So wait, the real question is, why doesn't he just have everybody else use the button he used to get the memories back?
I think
or was it
like
a one-time use button?
Either it was a one-time use button and he just can't find it anymore, or he doesn't want everyone to
get electrocuted.
That too. She pulled the wig over her head and hid her face with her hands. Also, I think that other escape button was a fake escape button, like that had all the memory, like that memory jolting electricity. But this one's an actual button that'll open the door.
Yeah, but why not use the other one to jolt everybody back? If it can work on one person, it can work on everybody.
Well, I don't know if he has it anymore by this point, because remember he was...
Because they couldn't go get it again.
Well, I mean, think about it. He was fucking near death the whole time.
That's fair.
So I don't think he remembers where it is.
He's just recovering.
She pulled the wig over her head and hid her face with her hands. Was she smiling because hope was waiting for her? Or was she crying because her path would lead to despair? When she lowered her hands, her face was devoid of all emotion. Mukuro no longer knew what expression she would wear on her face. At the same time, Makoto pressed the escape button. A siren began to wail as the turrets retracted into the ceiling.
Just like the ending cutscene!
Yes, that's the noise it made. From beyond the heavy door, a bright light appeared. An infinite number of ifs, and all the possibilities contained therein encased the world. Accepting everything, hope, despair, and even the feelings of that disappointing girl, Mukuro Ikusaba. Oh, so it's animated too.
Nice.
So everyone except Junko gets to leave in this scenario.
Junko never leaves ever, so...
You're right. But in this scenario, Junko...
Nobody dies.
Nobody
dies.
dies.
That looks fucking terrifying.
Well,
that's not the outside.
No, it is the outside.
No, that's a bunch of swirly light bitches.
Oh my god. That is the outside.
It's a portal, you bastard.
You fucking ignorant.
Hey, that was the whole thing.
Yay, we did it.
No, wait. Finished.
We did it. We beat the novel.
You don't beat a novel.
We destroyed the novel. Now to go to Island.
No.
Here we go. Right now.
No.
Fucking go.
That's a stream thing.
I know.
You can save there though.
In any case.
You didn't save the game.
In any case.
That was cool.
That was really cool.
I still think she wrote that in her free time before the first murder, and then she killed her, and then the murder motive happens, you know, the way the game does. I think she basically wrote that right before she murdered
What, Junko?
Mukuro. Yeah, Junko wrote that right before she murdered Mukuro, just to see what the fuck would happen in her own imagination if that's how it worked. And to give herself more despair because no one had died yet.
I guess. But, you know, she was also hoping for Sakura to make that first kill, too. And then when that didn't happen, Sayaka did it anyway. So
Sayaka didn't do anything.
she performed the first... No,
No,
Leon. No, Sayaka went to do it anyway, and then Leon murdered her.
Yeah,
by
but
proxy.
That's not how it happened, though. She almost had to change her self-defense rules. Almost. Which would have affected Leon's trial.
It would have. He probably would have gotten out scot-free.
No, because he still technically violated the idea of self-defense at that point because he left and came back. Self-defense would have been if he couldn't leave and had killed her.
No. He didn't leave and come back.
Yes, he did. He went and got the toolkit.
The toolkit was in the room already.
Yeah, but he could have left at that point.
No.
He literally could have left at that point. Before he got the toolkit, he could have left.
No. No. He brought the toolkit with him. What am I talking about? Because Makoto's toolkit's untouched.
Yes, and he went and got his toolkit. It wasn't
He
on his
didn't
purse.
leave to go get it. He already had it with him when he came there.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
No, he
Because he
didn't.
used the fucking sword against her, and then when that...
The sword was already in the room.
Yeah.
He went and got... He said he left and got it to open the door.
I'm pretty sure he had the toolkit
No,
with
why
him.
would he have it on him to go to someone's
Because
room at
it was
midnight?
nighttime, and you
That's
don't
not-
know
that's not
if you're
how-
going to murder someone, or someone might murder you in the middle of the night when they said they didn't want to go
to
tonight.
defend yourself with, you idiots.
It's to open the door.
He wouldn't have. He didn't have it on him. It was a fucking toolkit. You don't just carry that shit around with you to go to at midnight to walk around.
In this situation,
No, he did not. We're gonna look at it.
In the what?
We're gonna look it up.
You're gonna fucking look at the playthrough?
No, I'm gonna Google it.
Wait, Google. Yeah, that's gonna help you. Google the specific scene.
I'm just
gonna look at my playthrough.
Yeah, do that. He didn't bring it with him. He went back to his room and got it.
He did bring it with him.
No, he didn't.
After she shut herself to the bathroom, you went out of your way to head back to your room. Then you came all the way back, broke into the bathroom, and killed her. Am I wrong?
See? The game itself tells you he left and came back. He did!
You had a number of chances to stop what you were doing, but you chose not.
You literally read it! You literally read the line where it says he left the room! You literally read it! Won't you fucking try to tell me otherwise? You read the line! That flat out said
I'm still right.
you left to get the toolkit and then came back.
I'm totally right about this.